Every single second, a truckload of clothes is either dumped or burnt. Every single second. Like now, and now, and now, and now, and yet we still keep buying. So I want to ask you something brave today. Is it the fashion industry, or is it you that's killing the planet? Now, don't worry, I'm just as guilty as you, and seeing as I've just accused you all of murder, sorry, I better explain who I am and what I'm doing here talking to you today. So, my name is Aimee, and I am a fashion lover and a shopping addict. I have loved clothes and dressing up and shopping ever since I was little. Just ask my poor parents and their bank balance. And so it only seemed natural that I would go to work on into the fashion industry. And luckily, I did. I did go through a bit of a crazy stage of thinking that I wanted to be a vet. I went on a horrendous work experience during high school, and that was quickly poo-pooed. No, fashion was where I belonged. Now, I'm not tall enough to be a runway model. I can't even draw a stick man, so designing was out of the window. But I knew that I had one skill. Well, I've got many skills, but this particular skill would be really good within the fashion industry. I am naturally bossy. I prefer to call it assertive, but I'm naturally bossy, and I thought that that one skill would be great to work in fashion events. I wanted to be the one at the back of the runway show going, now you go, and you go, and you go, bossy. And that's exactly what I did. I became a runway producer. So I got to be around amazingly talented people, I got to be around loads of clothes, and I got to travel the world. It was fantastic. This is also a stage in my life where I set up my first company, and that's called the Fashion Breakdown. Now, the Fashion Breakdown is a careers advisory service for young people who want to work in the fashion industry. So I offer industry talks, I do workshops, but I also get them internships and work experience to come and actually experience working in fashion before they decide to do it as a future. I guess you could say that I'm creating the next cohort of fashion murderers, which is quite ironic. Now, like I say, I was having a great time and I thought that I had made it. Then something happened to all of us that changed it all for me. COVID hit. Everything stopped. The world stopped. Runway shows stopped. And so I had to make a decision. I could either freeze, or I had to pivot my business. Now, everybody went online, fashion went online, so I had to learn a new skill and go online too. And this is where I discovered fashion tech and STEM. Now, STEM, for those who don't know, and there's no judgment because I didn't before I started working in it, and I am the girl who took a hairbrush instead of a pen to school, and had barely any GCSEs, despite what my CV says. But STEM, sorry for anyone who's hired me in this room before, STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. And STEM became my second chance. However, through learning about fashion tech and new innovations, I learned that the fashion industry has a dark side. Now, fashion looks beautiful. You've got beautiful people, beautiful clothing, locations, and events. But behind the scenes, it is destructive. You have polluted rivers, you have greenwashing, and you have exploited workers. It's not uncommon to hear stories of a factory in Bangladesh burning down, or hearing about rivers awashed with dyes and clothing in places like Africa. But these atrocities actually happen here in the UK too, in large cities and towns such as Manchester. We just don't hear about it so often. Now, I have a theory as to why we have got a little bit greedy, okay? Because we binge, we scroll, we want everything and we want it now. And to be honest, the fashion industry just feeds that. $2.99 for a top in 7 different variations. We want it all. I have 76 pairs of shoes. I am not judging you all, I promise. But how have we got like this? How have we actually got this greedy? Like I said, I've got a few theories, okay? It's not all our fault. So fashion used to be shown to us in a very different way. So Fashion Week happens twice a year, in February and September, for those who want to know. And it would be done in 2 seasons. So you have autumn, winter, and spring, summer. And you would go down to your local high street, you'd buy an item or two, you'd purchase that, take that home, lovely. But the high street is dying, and everybody now shops online. And we have so many options and variations in colours, size, and design, and we just simply return what we don't want, need, or choose to wear for that particular occasion. But how have we got like this? So, how have we got like this? Thank you, Aaron. How have we got like this, and who is actually responsible? Because is it them, or is it us? Now, as I said, fashion was shown to us in a very different way. So we had our 2 weeks. We are also shown online these influencers, and they do giant hauls of clothing and convince us that we need everything, and we need it to follow the trends, to be popular, or to just stay relevant. Or is it that we've just got too comfortable being online that the second an idea or something or an item of clothing pops into our head, we go straight online and the act is just too simple of 2 clicks and it's posted to us that it's just too easy. So like I say, who is responsible? Is it them or is it us? Because if we didn't buy it, they couldn't make it and they can't sell it. So I want to play a little game with you. And don't worry, I'm not expecting you to stand up and talk. That embarrassment is saved for us lovely speakers. I want to play a game that shares the figures of some well-known high street brands and fast fashion brands, and how many items they create for us all to buy each year. So this is individual items that are available for us to buy each year by these brands. So I'll start off. So let's go with H&M. So H&M is a very well-known high street brand, horrific greenwasher, but a very well-known high street brand. And they create 25,000 different items every year. So that's 25 different items are available for you to buy every year. That's a lot of shoes. You have Zara. Now they're progressively worse at 36,000. So 36,000 different items. And now I'm going to share one that I like to refer to as your toxic ex. The one that you hate, but you just can't resist. Shein. So I'm going to give you a second. No, actually, I'm going to give you 3 because it's a pretty big number. And I just want you to think in your head for a second of how many items Shein creates each year. So this isn't in total. This is just per year for us to purchase. 1, 2, 3. Shein creates over 100 million pieces per year. 100 million different items are available for you to purchase each and every year. Now, as we all like to defend our toxic exes, I will preface with saying that is items that they create completely. That's not just fashion, clothing, and accessories, but still, over 100 million is absolutely ridiculous. So, every purchase is power, and every click makes us responsible. Now, this is a second chance story, and I've shared some pretty grim statistics and figures, and I'm sorry if I've made you all feel a bit depressed and guilty. However, I'm a pretty positive person, so I'd like to lift the room up and talk about the future of the fashion industry and the second chance that fashion is taking. So, the government has some legislation called the Green Claims Code, and there is specific items within there that are just for the fashion industry to hold us accountable. There are people in the industry, such as myself, who want to be at that forefront of the change. And as I am learning, STEM is at the forefront for the fashion change. So I want to share some pretty cool things that are happening within STEM that are changing the fashion industry. So, as you can see from the picture behind, so I'm a very clever person. Science. So within the science industry, they are now creating new fabrics out of natural materials. So things such as algae and mushrooms and even lab-grown spider silks are being used to create these new fabrics that clothing are being made out of. And the purpose of this is so that it's biodegradable. It can go back naturally into the earth. Again, reducing waste. You have clever engineers who are creating new machinery. Now, one example of this new machinery that helps with production waste is a machine that can create a whole knitted garment, so a whole item that is knitted in just one piece, which reduces, one, the amount that they're making, because they can make it on demand, but also the amount of waste that is happening through that production. You've got technology. So I don't know if we've all seen, but you can now get filters, and there is new tech out there that you can actually try on clothes digitally. And what this does is it allows you to make conscious decisions of whether it suits you or not, because we've all done that, where we've ordered something thinking we're going to look fabulous, and actually we don't. I had to change my outfit on Monday because that happened to me. But through being able to try it on digitally, we are able to see if it's actually going to turn out how we hope it is, and be able to make more conscious decisions in buying. And then we've got maths. So the data that we're able to pull now through positive algorithms is that brands and organizations can now know exactly how many items you're going to buy and what you actually like. So then they can make less within production because they have more accurate numbers of how many they actually need. So these are all things that are happening behind the scenes in the fashion industry thanks to STEM. Now, STEM is trying to mend its ways, but we also need to mend our ways. So I also have a few suggestions, don't worry. So the first is probably more for me than for you, but it's very simple, and it's 3 little words. Just buy less. Just buy less. Just buy less, Amy. It sounds simple, but actually, it will have the biggest impact on the fashion industry, and its impact on the environment. Okay, we do not need that many clothes. We do not need 25,000, 36,000, 100 million different options available to us. We just don't need it. We don't even need 76 pairs of shoes, but we are where we are. Okay, so just buy less. And if you can't resist shopping, then think to yourself, will I wear this 30 times, 20 times, even 10 times? Okay? Don't just buy these items to be able to wear once and throw away. This is also another massive contributor to waste and landfill of clothing and textiles. So make those more, again, conscious buying decisions. Also, get your money's worth. Even if you are paying $2.99 for a top, that $2.99, especially nowadays, make it last longer for you, okay? Repair or share. I like that one because it rhymes. Go back to the old-fashioned ways of actually repairing your clothing rather than chucking it out the second that it's got a hole. Or share your clothing. If you have a friend or someone that you know that has the same size clothing as you or the same interest and trends and style, share your clothes. You'll save money and you'll save the planet. Also, research brands, okay? If you have to buy in Shein, and there is no judgment, everybody's money levels is different, and I'm not here to say, God, down with Shein completely. Well, I mean, that would be ideal, but we are where we are. But please, just research the brands that you are buying from. So don't just go off the first page of their website and think, yep, that will do. Don't be convinced by them, because they love to trick us, okay? They love to make it out like they're doing it, and what aren't we great because we're all in this together, but actually, they're profiting over us and our guilt, okay? So research your brands, and if you have to buy from those brands, please make it worthwhile. I will also just share that first slogan again, just buy less. Thank you. So, the fashion industry is taking its second chance. You also have a second chance. Every purchase is power, and every click makes us responsible. So please take that second chance. Thank you.